Welcome everyone to the Warrior Cast for men's varsity wrestling from Columbus High School. There's 3 teams here tonight: Waco, Columbus, and New London. So there will be 3 duels total. Waco will not be involved in the first duel. It will be New London and Columbus. So I am Jeremy McLaughlin. I am being joined tonight by Michelle Wade.
Yep. Hello.
Something different tonight.
That's right.
It's not Mike Miller.
No, Mike probably had more important things to do with all the snow that's headed his way. So hopefully maybe he'll just dig me out tomorrow for covering for him.
You can send him a message and ask him to do that for you, since
He'll be
he
like,
probably owes you one now.
No. Like I said, I thought about coming over anyway, so this is a good night.
That's great.
It's a good night.
We're going to do wrestler introductions here. We'll probably just keep our mouth shut here for a few minutes, but so as I said before, the first duel will be New London and Columbus, starting at 120 pounds. captains are out on the mat. Before I forget, we should probably thank our sponsors for being a part of all of this and making this possible for the Warrior Cast to bring you all sports Waco.
And if you want to be a part of that, you can let me know. My email is michelle.wade@WacoCSD or Kaylin Duvall, Kaylin.Duvall@WacoCSD. We're the two. We'd like to have as many people as possible be a part of that. So
Sure.
if people want to get involved, we'd love to have you. So
Yeah, and if you're interested in being a sponsor, get a hold of Michelle or Kaylin, and they can get you hooked up. At some point during this duel, I talked to Coach Pugh. I think we're going to do another interview here since we're a little over halfway through the season. Last time I talked to him was at Pekin, our first duel of the season. Yeah.
Yep.
So we, talked about an outlook of the season and all that, what he expects out of everybody and what he sees so far, and hopefully he'll have a little different perspective on things tonight since we're already through the season, or halfway through.
Yeah, it's crazy to think. I mean, it's already January 11th, and so it'll kind of fly here this next couple weeks. But
actually, we're more than a little over halfway through. Technically, we only have about a month left in the season.
And I would imagine in another 2 or 3 weeks, 2 maybe 3, they'll announce where regionals go and all that good stuff.
District assignments for the boys have been out since October. Actually,
have they? They do already,
Yep.
right away.
Yep.
Okay.
The girls' super regional assignments have already been out a long time too.
Which their season finishes a lot sooner, right?
A
Don't
little
they finish,
bit. I think their state
like
tournament.
A week or 2 before.
Yeah, they've got. I think their state tournament is at the end of this month.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're getting closer to the end of their season for sure. But they started a week or 2 earlier. So,
Yep.
And for Columbus Winfield Mount Union, Ian Estudillo.
So Marty Hill is the official tonight, one of them anyway, and he told me out in the hallway. I was waiting to get food, and he said he was actually supposed to go to Fort Madison with Lane Walker from Wapello and decided Columbus was a lot closer to home, and with the weather impending that it is, he's like, I'll go to Columbus.
Yep.
So, and the other guy that was supposed to come down was coming from like West Delaware, so it just kind of made more sense to shift things around and not test the weather too much. So.
Yep. Marty's been doing this a long time. I think being a veteran, he probably gets to make those choices a little bit.
Shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I always enjoy having Marty, especially like at Wapello. He would do a lot of our tournaments and just never had to worry about him on the mat. He knew what he was doing and can control the meet.
That's exactly right. He's a veteran.
Mm-hmm. His son is doing it, or he had been doing it too.
Yeah, for quite a while actually. He's at least 10 years.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah,
so.
I can see that. Yeah.
And they do a lot of stuff, together too. But we also see them, one of them, not both of them all the time. But
a lot of times I see Marty with Bob Donnelly too at Mount Pleasant. So I don't know if Bob maybe is retired, but
no, Bob's still doing junior high events.
Okay.
I believe some.
Yep.
And he does also still do. Actually, where did we see him at? Bob just did. I believe it was last Thursday in Washington. Bob Donnelly was up there.
I could see that. Yeah.
I don't think Bob ventures too far from home anymore.
No.
But he doesn't do too many high school stuff anymore. He stays close to home, and I think he picks and chooses what he wants to do.
He's another veteran, though. He can do that.
Yep. Nice little roll through there by Forcine.
Thought maybe the Columbus kid had him, but was able to roll around, didn't it? You're right.
The match score is currently tied at 3. Wow, that buzzer's really loud in my headset.
I was just thinking that. Wow, that is really kind of loud. We're sitting right beside it, of course, but that was way louder.
Is it? Actually,
I think it comes out of the. Well, maybe not. I thought it came out of the scoreboard somewhere.
Oh yeah, it probably does. Wow, that's going to be a long night with that horn.
I know.
Yeah, Forcine, been wrestling a long time. I don't know much about the Columbus wrestler, but Kane Forcine's been wrestling since he was a tiny little kid. The only time we've really seen him, we won't see him tonight because we don't have anyone at his weight class, but Samo lost a 2-1 decision to him at the New London tournament early in the season.
Samo's down to 113 though now?
He is, yeah. Yep.
I don't know that, I'm like you. I don't know a lot of them anymore, but I don't know the Columbus kid at all. So.
Well, I will talk about them if I know something about them or have experience with them. But if I know nothing, I will admit it. I'll be honest about that.
You might have him here.
A little under a minute left in the period. That's a long time to fight off your back.
Looks like he's got at least 3 back points there. Sitting there, he's got him.
Yep.
It's a good little match there between those two.
Yeah, for a little while.
So has it always been that they flip for where they start? They don't always start at 120, right? I mean, they flip to find out which weight class they start at?
Either flip or they'll draw the weight class out of a hat or something like that.
The number. Yep.
I don't exactly know how they do it, but if that would make the most sense to me is just to draw the starting weight
just
class.
Pick it out, yep.
Yep, and
so they could easily start at heavyweight if that's what gets drawn. It's not that it's a certain.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I think that would be kind of nice as a as a heavyweight guy. You're not just always waiting for your match to,
Yeah, you're not always the last guy.
Yeah.
Tournaments are a different story. They always start at the lower weight classes and move up. So the heavyweights or the 285s don't. They don't. They have to wait for the first match, and they're always typically the last guys to finish up.
Yep.
So.
But the tournament is a little bit different in that people are learning, or the matches go a little different pace than just in a dual meet.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this the first Waco has, since Christmas, is this the first match, or did they have a tournament last weekend?
After Christmas, we went to, oh boy, you're going to test my memory. Our tournament, we went to Regina.
Oh, yep.
I'm trying to think here. I'll be able to answer that. New London's got a really short team.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay if I get Pugh's interview done here real quick before
bring him up?
This duel is over before we know it? Hold on just a second. I'll see if I can get him up here. Pugh.
There's one right here beside me. Seth's dad is sitting beside me, but here he comes, so I'll give him the headset. Yep.
All right, we finally got him up here, got the headset on. I'm joined right now by Coach Pugh. The last time we talked, Coach, was at the Pekin Duels, the first part of the season. We talked a lot about, what you'd seen so far, expectations out of some of these guys. I'll just let you talk. What do you see so far since the last time we talked?
Yeah, I guess it has kind of been a while. Well, we went through a spell of sickness there in December where we had a few guys missing out of the lineup. But, we had, after we got to where everybody could practice again over break, we put in, pretty good work over the break. And then coming back at on Thursday. It's always fun to go down there to Washington. That's one of my favorite meets to go to because, we don't have very far to travel, and there's always really good teams there. You got Fort Madison and Washington, some bigger teams. So you're always going to have matches. There's not going to be many forfeits in those duels.
And they're teams that we don't see on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's normally the only time we see Fort Madison all year. This year they added the Highland tournament, so we saw them there too. But, yeah, teams that we don't always see. And, we had some good matches in that one. Obviously the one that sticks out a lot was Loudon's match with
Thatcher.
With Thatcher, the kid that got fourth at 3A last year at 195. And, there was a little bit of controversy around that last takedown in that one.
There was.
But, he saw him in the finals again on Saturday, and, he took him down, ended up beating him 6-4 or 5-3 on Saturday, 6-4 on Thursday. So,
and that was a late third period takedown too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
At the tournament at Highland.
Yeah, he got a late takedown. There's probably 10 seconds to go, and then Fort Madison kid did a great job scrambling, and then got kind of close to a reversal at the end, but I think, Loudon knew that, he had that leg over the top. So
he just needed to hang on.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, he's been looking really good. He's, I think, 18-0 now, which I was just thinking about that. We haven't had as many matches up to this point as we have in previous seasons.
I was just thinking that myself the other day.
And a lot of it is that first week of the season. It's like the last week in November for competition. And, with football making such a long run in the playoffs 2 years ago, I thought, well, we might as well have that week open. So we got that one open, and then we also have another date open on our schedule that I was planning on adding something in on sectional weekend, what used to be sectional weekend. But, with our tournament, with the weather tomorrow, not knowing what's going on with our tournament, we might be able to move that there. So
nice.
Not sure what's going to happen with that, so hopefully we can have it.
Yeah.
You never know.
That'd be great.
But, as far as the matches, I counted it up. I think some of those guys would have like 42 matches or so if they went on to state, which, anymore guys get over 50 matches in a year. Our last few years we've had that.
Yeah. I think just wanted to point out, John ended the season last year with just over 50 matches, and he doesn't even have 20 yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
So, and we're well past the halfway point of the season for sure. So, yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? Any surprises? Any what do you see improvements? Things we need to work on?
Mainly kind of loud in here.
It is.
Mainly I'm just proud of those, especially those new guys that came out, and a lot of first-year guys, and it's, 2 weeks into January, and those guys are still here. So it's not easy just starting out for the first time and going out there against people that have wrestled their whole lives. So, the fact that these guys are still working, still trying to get better, I mean, that says a lot about their character.
Yes, I would agree, and I think Mike and I mentioned that a little bit at Washington too. We talked about, some of these newer guys that aren't getting a lot of wins are still coming out on the mat and battling as much as they can. So, it's good to see.
And some of those guys, like I watch Trey Edeker's matches, and he looks like he's right on the cusp of being really good and getting those wins.
Yep, I agree with you.
And he's got a really good sweep single. I mean, sometimes he gets in the habit of shooting across the body, and I'm like, just stick with that sweep single. You got a really good sweep and good shot defense, so he's coming around. That's one of those weights. I mean, he's right at 150, so you're in the middle weights where, you're never gonna get the forfeits, and you're always gonna get some pretty good competition.
Yep, and you're mostly dealing, as a sophomore, he's mostly at that weight class. You're looking at upperclassmen for opponents, guys that are bigger, stronger, more mature, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So, Yeah, he just needs to stick with it. I think he's got a lot of success in his future.
Yeah, and then Gage has looked pretty good. I mean, he made the finals at the Highland tournament and wrestled Shirk again, and this time Gage went out there and he was able to get the first takedown on him.
Good.
And he ended up losing 8-4, but you know, my way of thinking is if he can get that first takedown, you know, maybe he can get a couple more and you know, just be solid throughout the match. But
yeah,
the kid wasn't able to turn him this time, so.
Sometimes it's just the confidence, you know, knowing that you can take him down.
Yeah, and now he knows the first time he wrestled him, he knew he could keep it close. I mean, it was 5-0, but he didn't get majored.
Right.
And then the next time it's 8-4, and he gets the first takedown on him. So when we run into him again down the road at districts, and I hope that's kind of the case. We keep closing that gap, and then you know you can wrestle with them, and then it's you know, you can beat these kids. So just knowing that you can win those matches is huge.
Absolutely.
And then John had just a stacked bracket at that tournament on Saturday. I looked at 26 beforehand, and I was thinking there's going to be state placers that are going for 3rd and 4th.
Yep.
And I was wrong about that because there were state placers that were going for 5th and 6th.
Yeah.
And then 32 was pretty similar.
It was very similar,
I mean,
maybe not exactly, but it was very similar.
Yeah. I was counting it up, and we would have been like the 9 seed at 26, and I don't remember what we were at 32, like the 7 seed. So
yeah,
he probably didn't mind not having to cut that extra weight. And that's another thing about today is getting school canceled, no practice, so they get a couple extra pounds.
That's nice.
So they like that.
Yeah, he was pretty happy about that. That was one of the first things he told me when you let him know that they were getting a couple more pounds. I couldn't believe it, but yeah.
I don't always announce it, and you know, I don't always announce it too early because I don't want those guys going crazy.
Yeah.
John might be the type of guy that you say he can weigh 130 and then he comes in weighing 132. So. And
he still, you know, waits till the last 24 hours to get that last couple pounds off.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely correct. That is exactly what he would have done. That's just because that's the way he rolls. He makes it work.
Yeah.
But it's, you know.
But you watch him, and he's a good-sized 26-pounder.
He is. So, what do you think? What? I don't want to talk about that too early. I guess I was going to say, his district at 26 is also going to be pretty tough. So I know you guys are keeping your options open there, potentially. But
yeah, you just never know where everybody's going to go.
Yep.
You know, I talked to a lot of the coaches because we kind of want to be on the same page where you don't have, you know, everybody going to the same weight and just kind of flooding that weight. And yeah, it's really hard to tell up until that last week. You know, they could wrestle somewhere at conference and move to a different weight at districts.
Yep.
And when you got a stacked district like we do with Lisbon and Wilton, then you know, you got to be smart about where your guys are.
Exactly. So, any other highlights, positives from the season so far? I'm just thinking back through the schedule, the BGM duels. We wrestled 5 duels that night. All of them there were some really tough teams there that we.
Yeah, South Tama was really good.
Yes, they were.
And obviously Wilton, they were ranked #1 as a dual team at that time.
Yep.
They might still be.
I think Alburnett actually took over that top spot.
Okay.
Potentially.
Yeah.
So.
And I think Columbus just moved up to #8 on the dual rankings.
Wow.
So for 2A. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I was going to announce this, but we're giving away a Zane Morrow Outstanding Wrestler Award at our tournament. So we got shirts made, and the coaches are going to vote on an outstanding wrestler, and then Zane's going to present the award. Probably just give out the award and get a picture with whoever gets it. So
that's pretty awesome.
I think that's the first year. I know it's the first year I've done it at Waco. I don't know if they've done that in the past.
Not that I remember.
A lot more tournaments are going to that where they're given an outstanding wrestler award.
Yep.
But yeah, I was just thinking about it, and this season's rolling by pretty fast. Where we have one more tournament next week, and then it's conference
Right.
after that.
Yep.
Not,
go ahead.
not to look past this Saturday, but
No.
after this one more, and then conference.
Right. And then let's talk about that one. It's a new tournament for us this year, going up to Belle Plaine. I don't know. I know Highland will be there. Belle Plaine, obviously. Are you familiar with the other teams that'll be there
Yeah,
and what they
I
have to
know.
offer?
Applington Parkersburg's there, Newton, Belle Plaine's always pretty good, and our schedule said Monticello was there.
Logan Magnolia,
Logan Magnolia, yeah, which
Yeah,
I
they're
thought
making
that
a
was,
trip.
I thought that was out west.
Southwest Iowa.
Yeah.
That's a 3-hour drive for them.
Wow.
Yep.
But they are always good.
Yeah.
Like, ever since I can remember, Logan Magnolia's
Yeah.
been really good.
Historic program, really.
Yeah, and that's one where we're not gonna take all of our guys. There's L&M had that tournament. That's the varsity tournament that we got out of, but they have
Right.
a JV tournament on Friday night, and
Okay.
we're gonna send a lot of our guys to that tournament, and then
Great.
just take a few of them to Belle Plaine just to get them some better matchups there at L&M. So,
Yeah. Sounds like a great idea.
yeah.
And, looking back on it, I don't know how you feel about it, but this season might not have been a bad season, really. We've got enough of these newer guys, lesser experienced guys on the team. Will you potentially be looking maybe for some JV tournaments in the future, like during the season, or is that something you're really not interested in? But
I don't know. I like the BGM duels. I think that's a good one. I mean, you can get more matches there
yeah,
most of the time, but I don't know. I like the traditional tournaments on the Saturdays. I mean, I've always been in favor of those type of tournaments where your competition just if you're winning, it gets better and better and better as the day goes on, and
right.
if you're losing, you might lose the first round and they get a winnable match the next round.
Sure.
So, I've always liked traditional tournaments better. And that's just me. I mean,
Yeah, and I wasn't talking about taking the whole team to a JV tournament. It was just maybe some of the guys that are struggling to get some wins.
yeah.
At a
I
traditional.
thought you said dual tournament.
No, I said JV
Oh,
tournament.
yeah.
It might have gotten loud in here at that time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We'll definitely look to get into a lot more of those.
Yeah, that's good.
And just to get some of our guys, matchups with guys that are pretty much equal experience.
Right.
That's what we're looking for.
Yep. That would be, to me, a type of tournament that someone like Trey could probably excel at.
Oh, yeah.
Get some wins, get some confidence.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I know Coach Martinez is really excited about it. He's talking about bringing home the team trophy at that L&M JV tournament.
nice.
So
That would
he's
be
looking
awesome.
forward to it.
Oh, I bet. And the doing a JV and a varsity schedule for some of these guys I realize that's kind of tough,
yeah.
with only 2 coaches. You guys do as much as you can now. It's hard to throw in 3 or 4 more tournaments on top of that. But
The good thing about it is that most of the tournaments that we go to, you can enter non-scoring wrestlers.
right,
So they can still get matches. Unfortunately, they usually, if you got another guy there seeded, they don't let you seed more than one at a weight, so they'll get
a
drawn
bad
in.
draw.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that
makes it a little bit tougher.
unfortunately that's the way it works. So,
Yeah.
So you're not guaranteed. You're guaranteed some matches for the day, just not good quality matches for your ability level. I
Yeah, and
guess.
that's the thing is just getting matchups with guys of similar ability level,
And that's where some of these guys could probably, like I said, excel at a JV type tournament, especially even the guys, more so the guys maybe who don't get a JV match tonight, maybe, or something.
That's
get
a
them
good
a
thing
couple.
about Columbus's lineup. We should be able to get some JV matchups
That's good.
with them.
So you're planning on doing that tonight?
Yep,
then. That's
we've got pretty much everybody on the slate to wrestle against
awesome.
Columbus.
That's awesome. Well, any comments going into the end of the season here, and just in case we don't have a chance to talk again?
Well, we're just these last few weeks. There, you start to realize, you got some seniors that this is the last chance you're going to get to be coaching them. So you really start to, enjoy the moment a little bit more.
Yep.
And I was telling you, like, I get on John quite a bit, but he's got great work ethic, and he's been a great senior leader.
That's good.
We're going to definitely miss having him as a leader in the room. And then you got Big John Stauffer and Trake Bird as well.
Yep.
Trake's first year, but, he's came in, and that guy never misses anything, and he works really hard. So
good.
So, yeah.
It's good to hear.
Enjoy these last few weeks, and, we're already ramping it up for postseason. That's what it's on the back of a lot of those guys' mind is, who's in my district and what do I got to do to beat these guys.
Right.
So, that's the plan.
And the ultimate goal is to, to peak at the right time, right?
Oh, yeah.
You want to be peak. This is the time of year when you want to start peaking.
Yeah, because you always see it where, you see a guy come into their first tournament, in the beginning of December, and they're on fire and they're flying around, and then, middle of January, you can kind of tell that it's been a long season for them. So we try to avoid that as much as possible, just by, keeping the mood light, and, we're still in there working hard, but, we joke around a lot, and we play a lot of wall ball before practice. So I think that makes it a lot more fun.
It does.
When you're going into a room that's 80 degrees and you're going to be there for a couple hours, it's always good to have some fun.
And, every season, every sports season, you can say is a long season, but, 2-hour practices where you're just going nonstop, you're working your butt off, you're doing conditioning. Over time, that you're right, that's got to wear on these guys. And not to mention it's the same grind every day.
Yeah. Not to mention maintaining weight for that long.
Yep. Which is for some guys can also be a mental struggle.
Oh yeah.
That weight cut's not just physical.
Yeah.
If you're worried about being hungry all the time, you're not worried about what you're doing on the mat.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yep, that's why we got the descent plans, and we try to stick with that as much as possible. And I don't know if John always sticks with that on Saturdays after weigh-ins, though.
No. He usually has he's got a cooler with him, and as soon as he's made weight, the first thing he does is hit that zipper on the cooler. But you can't blame him. He's probably hungry.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But we've had, I think the record for weight gained in a day was 13 pounds that I actually saw. It was Jaden Williams, and it's been probably 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
But that's pretty impressive. 13 pounds one day.
Yeah, John left the New London tournament, 8 or 9 pounds over. Showed up to practice on Monday, 8 or 9 pounds over.
Oh, yeah. He didn't tell me that, but I'll have to bring that up to
him. Think he was back up to 135 after the New London tournament. Yeah.
Well, I think we're getting ready to start our duel here.
Sounds good, Coach. Thanks for coming up and talking with me.
Yep, thanks a lot, Jeremy. I like listening to these.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck. We're going to run a few commercial breaks here.
While they get ready, I'll run the long one here.
Maybe we can get through the whole thing, bits and pieces, before we get done here tonight.
Yeah.
Coach Pugh did talk about trying to get in. He thinks that everybody on the Waco roster tonight will have a match, JV or
Good.
varsity.
Okay, good.
With Columbus anyway.
Yeah.
Columbus has
Yeah.
got a full team and then some, so
Yeah.
it'll be nice to see some of these guys get some JV matches and get some opportunities out on the mat. So that'll be good.
Especially they're putting in just as much time in the room as everybody else. So yeah,
Absolutely.
give them a little pay for that. So
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, I'll go to some commercials and we'll come back.
Anyone serious about lawn care knows it starts with two things: the expertise and the equipment to do the job right. Egley Landscapes is the only local company that provides expert lawn care and landscaping. Let the experts with the equipment from Egley's pay a visit to your lawn. Our horticulturists have the knowledge to guide you through a lawn care plan, and they won't sell you services you don't need. Egley Landscapes has the knowledge and expertise you can trust to revitalize the landscape of your home or commercial property. Egley Landscapes. Check us out online at egleylandscapes.com.
The culture at West Liberty Foods, it really is doing the right thing, even when people aren't watching you.
Our principles are set based on a farmer mentality, and that's hardworking, that's community-based, and being good stewards of the land. It's being loyal to your team, it's taking care of your team.
I think as an organization, that's another thing that makes West Liberty Foods really successful, is that commitment to others.
Find your next career at West Liberty Foods. Visit careers.wlfoods.com.
Forum Plumbing and Heating are your local experts, and we're more than just plumbers. As a family-owned and established business, we know what it means to give good service. Our plumbers are highly skilled and ready to tackle anything you need. We've been serving communities around Iowa for 5 years now, and there's no sign of us slowing down. We love what we do, and we're happy to help. Give us a call at 319-591-1551.
All right, this duel is going to start at 126 pounds, Waco versus New London. And it looks like New London is bumped up Kane Forcine from 120 pounds, and Waco is bumping Samo to 126. Samo in on a single leg. Forcine looks like he was trying to hop out of bounds, but pulled him back in, back down on the leg. Oh, a nice little outside carry right to his back. Nope, just gets the takedown. Stalemate. Position wasn't really advancing much, so called a stalemate. We'll start him over in the center of the mat. So to get you caught up here, Michelle, we started at 126.
Okay.
Forcine, they bumped him up from 120 to actually, I believe they were looking to wrestle John, but we bumped up Samo to wrestle Forcine at 126.
I thought maybe they'd take a little bit longer break there, so I went to the bathroom real quick too. So.
And that's fine. Not a big deal. I thought they'd actually run the JV matches, but we won't have any JV matches for this duel, so I'm guessing there's going to be some before the next one. Right. So the Columbus team left the gym, so those are our JV matches.
Right.
Samo had a double arm bar there, was looking to turn, but wasn't getting much out of it. All right, I'm going to test you.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
What wrestling moves do you know?
The reversal.
Okay. Well, that's just a way to score points. I was talking about actual moves.
None.
Okay.
None whatsoever.
And that's totally fine and understandable.
I might know the move. I just don't know the name of it.
No, that's fine.
So I'd be like, that's a move I know. That chicken wing thing, that's what I know.
Well, hey, it's a learning opportunity.
That's right. That's what I told Mike. I'm just trying to absorb it all in. My nephews, my oldest nephew and my youngest nephew, they're kind of big into wrestling, and so it's like I need to learn this before I have to go. They're still in the pee-wee stage, but I have to learn it, so I'm a little bit intelligent when I go out there again.
Right.
There's got him.
That's called a Merkel position right there with when he's behind the arms and he's got that near leg in.
Merkel, okay.
Yep. Did you see it?
Well, when you I wouldn't know what to call it.
No, I mean, I just wondered if you saw it
to
realize what the position was that he was actually in.
I think so. He needs to do it again so I can learn it better that way.
I'm not sure why, for the folks at home. I know the scoreboard on the far side of the gym is in the camera view, but for some reason they're only using that one for the team score and the time.
Okay.
The scoreboard you can't see has the match score, so it is currently 6-0, Samo.
Okay. For the match, and when we score, I can put up the team scores as we go through, but I can only do. Yep, I will try to, but I won't have the match score. So
that's fine. Yeah. And the folks at home should be able to see the team score
on
the other scoreboard if they want to. But yeah, if you want to keep the scoreboard on the screen, overlaid on the screen, that's perfectly fine.
Yep. Yeah, it must be the way that those scoreboards are configured with the match score on the bottom part that's only on this half of the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's pretty common. Yeah. It's actually pretty common. Yep. Oh, yeah, start swiping. Yeah, this match is going completely different than it did in December when we were at the New London tournament.
And they faced each other at the New London tournament, these two? Okay.
Yep, Samo lost a 2-1 decision.
Okay.
And
that's what you were talking about. That's right. You said that at the first. I feel like that is just bouncing around inside my headphones.
I know. it's the microphone's pretty sensitive. It's picking it up and blasting it into our ears.
Well, and we're right here, so that doesn't help either. But
currently 8-1 Samo. He's got a couple takedowns and a couple near fall, a couple different 2-point near fall opportunities. So 8-1. Forcine got an escape there,
right
towards the end of the second period. So 8-1 Samo. Now, I will tell you the team points. A regular decision is only 3 team points. That is anywhere from 1 to 7 point difference. Anything 8 to 14 is a major decision. That's
right.
And that was Samo got another point there. Forcine scissored the head
with his feet when he crossed his feet over. Is that when he got him? Okay.
You can't figure 4 or scissor the head. If you leave your feet apart, you can clamp down on the head as much as you want. But once you cross your ankles, it's illegal.
Right.
So
which makes sense. It's probably a safety feature to some degree. They can't.
A little bit, because you can get some. You can really crank on that head when you got your ankles squeezed together.
Yeah.
So major decision is 8 to 14 points, and that is that's worth 4 team points. Tech fall is 15 points or more, and the match will end, and that's worth 5 team points. And then any forfeits or falls are worth 16 points. So it's currently
forfeit is 6 too.
Yes.
Okay.
So with that takedown and the 1 penalty point, Samo is now up 11-1. Which, like I said, is completely different from the first time they wrestled.
That's good, though. That's improvement through the year, and you see some
right.
changes, Yep.
And
we saw New London right away, right? Wasn't that one of the very first?
Yes, that was the first tournament.
The
first tournament of the year. It wasn't the first
match or whatever.
No, the duel. No, we had a duel that Thursday night. I can't remember exactly. That was a good match for Gage. 11-1.
And he knew at the minute. I mean, he saw that he's got some.
Yeah, and it should be 4 team points, not 3. Whoa, they changed it. Looks like it got a little chippy there at the end of the match.
A little bit.
Looks like we got McLaughlin here. We're bumped up to 132. I do not know who this opponent is. Riley Rains.
So John is at 132 tonight. Okay.
Just for this match.
Okay.
I just had a conversation with John this afternoon about getting on his offense. So hopefully we'll see a little more confidence out of John on his feet here, shooting his shot.
There's a good shot.
He's got to come up with it.
He got
Turn the corner. Turn the corner. There you go.
Mr. P over here is doing it for him. He's.
I was talking about that at Washington last Thursday. You got to be careful when you sit next to him because you will get an elbow or a knee or something. He wrestles the whole match for these guys while they're out there.
His enthusiasm, though, is awesome. It's contagious a little bit.
We were talking about he's such a great fan and supporter of these guys. They see him almost every Thursday for these duels. We see him sit all day at tournaments on Saturdays.
Really?
Oh, he's
awesome.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's such a great fan of Waco wrestling.
Well, and he's probably been, having watched Seth wrestle for so many years, he's probably a fan himself. He's just that's what he doesn't know anything different.
Right. Fun fact about Coach Pugh, he played basketball until 6th or 7th grade.
Really?
Yep.
After I rub that in his face. No. I can remember watching Seth wrestle when he was in high school. I went to a couple meets, and obviously the Pugh name at Columbus, that's pretty synonymous with wrestling. So, I watched him wrestle a couple times. He's younger than me, but
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe, he went from starting wrestling in 7th or 8th grade to state championship as a senior. I believe it was 2006
Okay.
that he won his state championship. So,
Yep.
yeah. But Laney will tell you that he worked his butt off for those 5 or 6 years. You know, he had a goal, and that
Had some
was
catching up to do too. After
yeah.
some of these kids that wrestle their whole lives. So
Yep. So with takedown and a 2-point and a 3-point near fall, it's 7-0 McLaughlin currently. It's good to see John actually being able to breathe. Saturday, he had some upper respiratory stuff last week, and Saturday was a struggle for him. He had some real trouble breathing. He just couldn't get enough oxygen, so
get a deep enough breath. Yeah.
And he told me almost to like a panic type situation, when you feel like you can't breathe.
Yep. And then you can't get a breath. Yeah, that would be
exactly.
That's a good
he's
drive.
going to lock up the near side.
There we go.
That's it. Looks like it's over.
Now, is that is that considered a cradle?
The near side cradle.
Near side cradle.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That may be the only one that I know is the cradle.
Yep. The head and the leg like that is typically always a cradle. It's just whether it's a regular cradle or a near side cradle.
Okay. My brother would always try to do that to me at home. I'm like, get away from me.
Yep. John likes his cradles.
Yeah. They're pretty, they seem to be pretty immobilizing. There's not much that they can do once they're in, just swing that leg and try to get out, but they're kind of stuck in that, so.
Yep. And I'll kind of show you here. If you can get to this cross face and get the opposite arm and then get to the leg from there and lock up with the arm, then they have no way to fight out other than to kick their legs.
Right.
If
That
the
makes
cradle
sense.
comes in and he's got this hand available, this extra both hands, he can grab the wrists and try to break the grip too,
makes sense.
along with kicking and stuff. So, that's I noticed John was going, more for the crossface type cradle than
because it just
than
locks him up a
regular.
little bit more in that middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's much less, much harder to defend.
That makes sense.
Yep. That was a good match for him.
So a point to Deacon on this one because of the
locked
hands.
hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know what the signal means. I'm not always sure when they're doing it.
Yep. So Minky Bailey got that takedown.
Okay.
But then once he gets the takedown and the official gives the 2 points, then you can't have your hands locked around their waist anymore. He was trying to finish taking him down to his back, and he was just locked around his backside there. So
he's just got to give that up, and as long as he's this way, though, right? Hand on top, not locked and holding.
if their hands are touching.
Right, but if his hands aren't touching, then he's fine.
Correct, yep. And it's currently 2-1. Minky Bailey. Looks like he's trying to get Deacon turned here. One good thing about Deacon is he does fight off of his back and fight not to go over, very, very well.
He said longer than I would have for sure.
Yeah. I don't want to tell him how to do it, but if he walks around the head a little farther, he'll finish going down. There, he got his arm out and scooped up the head.
There he got it.
I just couldn't fight any longer.
Yep. Deacon held for a while, though, on that. I mean, he was able to keep from his back as long as he could there. And like you said, he kind of walked up on his head and forced his shoulders down a little bit more. So. A little sideline coaching here.
Yeah, he said he was still having a little trouble breathing, so
but he doesn't
I was
use
giving him the inhaler sign language.
like, do this. Yes. And Trey, I was glad to see Trey. He told me originally at the beginning of wrestling he wasn't going to go out for wrestling. He was just going to practice, and I thought, that'll probably last a week, and then he'll be like, yeah, I'll do this.
Trey was talking about not doing wrestling again at the end of the season last year, so I was completely thrilled that he decided to come back and stay. And, honestly, I'm not sure Pugh would have allowed him to just come practice and not compete.
Not compete, yeah.
That's a weight class, we need to fill. And with Braxton Stauffer being out, still because of his jaw or tooth injury, I don't really know where he's at right now. It's good to have somebody there in the lineup because I was happy to see Trey get down to 150. He's going to be better at that weight class than he was at
where he was last year.
He was at 65 starting the year this year, but I believe so. But he was undersized 65, so good choice for him to get down to 150. I don't think it was super hard for him to do it, and
probably a truer to where he's
absolutely
normally at. Yeah.
He looks a lot better at 150. Just more lean, and John wrestles him once in a while on open mats, and he said that he's really strong.
Yeah.
And I think that's helped him a ton this year is to be stronger. So he just needs to keep moving here, keep circling. Don't let him have that leg. Yeah, that leg, that was a bad deal. He's got to get that leg back. Or he needs to
get his head out there.
Yeah.
He's got that elbow.
He fought out of that. Nice job, Trey. Very good.
And that's where that strength maybe is to his advantage there. Doesn't necessarily have the technique yet, but definitely can muscle himself out.
Yeah, and you didn't hear, any of the conversation with Coach Pugh, but he was praising Trey up and down for his improvement. He's just on the cusp of being pretty good. He's strong. He really knows. He knows what he's doing out there. He's just gotta wrestle more and put stuff together. When he puts stuff together, he's gonna be able to figure this out.
Right.
So
just make it more of an instinct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, some of the best wrestlers, you just know what to do without even thinking. They've drilled it so many times. He's going to have to, get your arm back, arm back. You got that arm caught. You got the arm caught. That's a bad deal. If he can come up from there, come up and out. Nice job, Trey. Keep working.
Lanny's going to make the move for him over here.
Yeah, I told you. He wrestles a whole match for him.
And he did. He said, like you said, he got his arm out of there.
No points for Trey yet. He just needs to keep moving. Out of bounds.
Yeah. I think he thought he was out earlier. That's why he kind of let up on that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's 2-0. Who do we have here for New London? 2-0 New London. Trey did a good job staying off of his back there for sure. This is Killian Kelly, I believe.
Okay.
He just needs to keep moving here and try to get back up to his feet so he can get out.
So from that position for Kelly,
yeah.
What's he trying to do? Just get him to flip?
Yeah, he's got his arm trapped over the shoulder right now, which is not a good position. Trey's holding on to that arm. He really needs to be, behind the arms on both sides. And that little hip through there, he's looking to use that arm, try to get him over on his hip. Now he's using that hip separation to get a stand up. Kelly's going to return him to the mat, but, that was a good effort. So Kelly's in a much better position here. That's called a spiral ride with the arm in the inner thigh there, up in the armpit. You drive the armpit drive the shoulder forward, and spiral the hip out and try to get him flat. Right now, I think Kelly's just trying to get him broken down to his belly so he can work on a turn.
Gotcha.
But Trey's having nothing of it. Look how flexible he is. How flexible he is.
That makes my back hurt.
Now he needs to use that to stand up.
When he gets to that position,
Well, no, when he was in that position all twisted up, Kelly followed him around and then jumped sides to get caught back up. That's when Trey needs to hit a stand up as quick as he can.
Gotcha. Okay.
The bottom guy's looking for what we call hip separation.
Okay.
So a lot of the top guy's weight's going to be driving forward. He's trying to get him flattened out, but a lot of his weight is on the bottom guy's hips.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel that hip separation and it gives your hips room to move, look at that.
Nice job.
Wow. He got
almost.
Dang it.
Almost. Keep fighting, Trey. Keep fighting, Trey.
It's still early in the period. He's got a long time to fight that off, but dang it.
Thought he was almost out of it there at one point.
Yeah. He he should have probably tried to when he flipped over. He was actually on top. He didn't have the reversal, but he should have grabbed something. Grabbed a leg, grabbed an ankle, tried to hook a leg with his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to keep him from going back over into that headlock.
Pop him right back down.
Yep.
Yep. And again, that's where you talk, just having that natural, this is what I need to do in this position. Just that experience of wrestling
exactly.
for Trey. And so, I'm excited for him, though. He's only a sophomore, so he's got a couple more years to learn and grow yet.
Yep.
And Trey's one that he'll spend a lot of time in the he'll spend a lot of time in the weight room, too. So, I see him lifting and getting stronger and building that muscle mass. So,
speaking of getting stronger, I think our entire athletics department has really benefited from our awesome facility, the Kauffman Center that we have there at Waco. I know it's a facility that I think a lot of schools envy.
Yes,
in
100%.
This area.
Yep.
Who wouldn't want to lift in a place like that, right? It makes it fun.
I would want to. If I would have been in school and we would have had that, that would have been awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's showing.
Yeah.
It's definitely showing for sure.
And Seth Pugh is the one oftentimes, especially in the mornings, he's the guy that's, putting the guys through their workouts.
Absolutely.
And guys and girls alike. So, yeah.
And he's valuable as our strength and conditioning coach, too.
Yep.
Very valuable.
Mm-hmm. This is Cale Zwier. He's
Cale Warren.
Yes. Yep.
And this is Raines.
Yeah.
Michael Raines. Sorry.
Oh, that's a big one.
Hopefully.
Cale's a freshman, and I'm assuming Raines is probably a senior.
He's a senior.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100% sure. He may have been a state qualifier last year.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah.
So you can see the team scores 22-18 Waco currently. But I have a feeling that with New London's small roster that the forfeits that we're going to get here are going to be in our favor.
Yep.
Yeah, forfeits are 6 points, just like a fall or a pin.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Tommy Unternier checking in at the table.
Yeah.
It looks like New London is out of wrestlers, so I think he's gonna have a forfeit here at 2:15.
I'm good. Yeah, Tommy's got another one. You're right. So that'll put him at 40.
You bring me a peanut M&M.
40-18 for that one, and so now John Stauffer. So John Stauffer, I'm good.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's taking care of us up here, isn't he?
Yeah, Laney's good like that.
Hagen, yep, he's got another one here. So, yeah, you're right. These forfeits, that's the sad part is that can really, you've got some good wrestlers, and yet it's nice that for wrestling it's not necessarily a team. You can still do a lot with individuals.
Right.
An individual can still qualify. So,
Yep.
It's kind of unique.
Yep, that should.
That'll do it.
Yep. Well, we started at 126.
Yep.
the score doesn't reflect it, but I think we would have a double forfeit then at 113 and 120.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And so nobody gets those points. I mean,
well,
just,
they would give it to both of us to be the official score.
Okay.
But technically, they could, it's a wash.
Right,
They could
right.
leave it the way way it is if they wanted to.
Right. Yeah. So then we'll wrestle Columbus here in a little bit. Like I said, I think they're doing Parents' Night tonight, and kind of like Senior Night, but I think they do their entire team. So JV kids, varsity kids all get recognized with their parents. So I'm not sure how long that'll take in between.
It'll probably take a while.
A little bit. So
should we go to commercial break again?
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
think
that.
So too. Get our sponsor.
Anyone serious about lawn care knows it starts with two things: the expertise and the equipment to do the job right. Egley Landscapes is the only local company that provides expert lawn care and landscaping. Let the experts with the equipment from Egley's pay a visit to your lawn. Our horticulturists have the knowledge to guide you through a lawn care plan, and they won't sell you services you don't need. Egley Landscapes has the knowledge and expertise you can trust to revitalize the landscape of your home or commercial property. Egley Landscapes. Check us out online at egleylandscapes.com.
The culture at West Liberty Foods, it really is doing the right thing, even when people aren't watching you.
Our principles are set based on a farmer mentality, and that's hardworking, that's community-based, and being good stewards of the land. It's being loyal to your team, it's taking care of your team.
I think as an organization, that's another thing that makes West Liberty Foods really successful, is that commitment to others.
Find your next career at West Liberty Foods. Visit careers.wlfoods.com.
Forum Plumbing and Heating are your local experts, and we're more than just plumbers. As a family-owned and established business, we know what it means to give good service. Our plumbers are highly skilled and ready to tackle anything you need. We've been serving communities around Iowa for 5 years now, and there's no sign of us slowing down. We love what we do, and we're happy to help. Give us a call at 319-591-1551.
What if the answer to powering a purer world, our world, was shining down on us this whole time? All we have to do is unleash its infinite power. Our goal here at EPO Energy is to unleash the infinite power of the sun. At EPO Energy, we make solar energy the better solution. EPO Energy, unleash the power.
WYAA. This is more than just a game. It's a journey of growth, friendship, and triumph. Join us as we celebrate the spirit of youth sports, where every sprint, kick, and cheer is a step towards greatness. Together, we're not just playing a game, we're shaping futures. Unleash your potential, ignite the fire within, because in this arena, legends are born. This is more than a team, it's a family. WYAA. This is more than just a game. It's a journey of growth, friendship, and triumph. Join us as we celebrate the spirit of youth sports, where every sprint, kick, and cheer is a step towards greatness. Together, we're not just playing a game, we're shaping futures. Unleash your potential, ignite the fire within, because in this arena, legends are born. This is more than a team, it's a family.
The culture at West Liberty Foods, it really is doing the right thing, even when people aren't watching you.
Our principles are set based on a farmer mentality, and that's hardworking, that's community-based, and being good stewards of the land. It's being loyal to your team, it's taking care of your team.
I think as an organization, that's another thing that makes West Liberty Foods really successful, is that commitment to others.
Find your next career at West Liberty Foods. Visit careers.wlfoods.com.
All right, we're getting pretty close to getting back into the action here. We're going to have 4 JV matches. Looks like we're going to have Trake Bird, Sam Eichelberger. Let's see. I can't tell. Oh, Silas. Oh gosh, I can't tell who the 4th one is. But they announced 4 JV matches here before we get started.
Well, I think that one is Lane.
It is Lane, but he's our 44-pounder.
Okay.
So before we get started here, I want to make a couple announcements. The Waco Athletic Boosters, great group of people, are in need of help. Volunteers for the concession stand for Home Waco events. If you're willing and able to do so, they would very much appreciate your volunteerism.
Yep.
Concession stand is not fun to do, but it is everybody's job, and to participate and chip in, do their part. So looks like Lane Bachman here is going to go at 144. The other thing I wanted to announce, this coming Saturday, 2 days from now, is our home Waco tournament. Starts at
barring the weather.
Barring the weather, yeah, I was going to get there, but
Yeah.
starts
Sorry.
at 10 o'clock. There's lots of teams there, so if you want a decent seat or a seat at all, you should probably get there early. But all of the Waco wrestlers would love to have as many fans as possible there cheering them on. With that, I will say that our upcoming weather here overnight tonight and during the day tomorrow, and the blizzard warning that we are going to have in effect, might change the tournament date. We might have to postpone it. So keep an eye out for announcements for Saturday's tournament. And then I also wanted to say that next Thursday is our only home event. It's a varsity triangular against Lone Tree and Van Buren.
Okay.
So both of those events, come out and support the Waco varsity wrestlers any way you can.
I'm assuming that
would
night
be
too
really
they'll do
nice.
like senior stuff.
Oh yes,
Yeah, right,
thank you
that
for
night?
reminding
Yep.
me. That will also be senior night. So yeah.
That's the hard part about wrestling. I feel like sometimes the way they rotate it, you don't get a whole lot of home meets, but
Right.
hopefully between the tournament and then that night, that'll be a good night. So.
Yeah, we always have the tournament and typically at least one home event just to be able to do senior night. I think
Right.
everybody should have at least one
Right.
home event.
Right. Yep.
Last year we had 2. The year before we only had 1 again. It kind of seems like it's an alternating pattern a little bit, but yeah, it's a kind of a crapshoot whether we get 1 or 2. But all right, let's talk about this match going on. I've rambled long enough.
Right.
Lane is currently down 6-2. Got taken down. I think he got taken down 3 times and got 2 escapes.
Okay.
So it's currently 6-2. And we must have somebody else in that
44.
144 slot for the varsity duel. Trying to think of who that might be.
I don't know the weights anymore. I feel like every time I learn the weight classes, they change them on me.
All right, so the only ones that changed are from 44 to 215.
Okay.
They didn't add any weights. They didn't take any away. They just changed
What they
were. Yep. So now they are 144, 150, 157, 165, 175, 190.
Okay.
Which 190 went from 195 to 190, and then 215 used to be 220.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yep. Coach Pugh and our interview we had at Pekin, he was talking about some of the kids and used one of last year's weight classes, and I felt bad, but I had to correct him.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you should know this.
Yeah.
But he admitted that what am I thinking? He hadn't quite got him completely figured out yet.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And in his head, he probably knew what he was talking about, just not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And I knew what he was talking about because we were talking about the kid, not the weight class really, but.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna turn our headset volume down, maybe the horn won't be quite so loud.
Okay. This one, this is your headset.
Oh. It's this one. Oh,
Yeah,
sure it
there you
is.
go. Yep.
Okay.
At least loud in our head anyway,
All
right?
I'm glad I got you here for the technical difficulties.
It works.
So this one's all the way, this one's halfway, and then adjust this one as necessary.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We actually, Washington, when we got it out, we couldn't get the audio to work right, and a couple of these buttons were pushed down. Mike figured it out. I wouldn't have remembered.
Just start
from
punching everything,
exactly.
right?
Turning knobs and punching buttons.
That's right.
So the score is currently 9-4, Columbus. And I apologize, I wasn't really paying attention. I got to apologize to Lane. We talk about all the other matches, and this one we're dropping the ball. So Lane gives up another takedown here. It's now 11-4. And he cut him for 1, 11-5. Now it's 13-5.
It has it listed at 132. Is that just what it's at? They don't have it right. Maybe they don't have it right.
I don't think that is correct. I think that's the weight class that we will start the varsity duel.
Okay. Okay.
Columbus, when I was talking to Coach Pugh, he said that he thinks Columbus might be 8th right now, ranked 8th in the state for a team.
A friend of mine that her kids go here, she said that they were ranked. She didn't tell me at that time what it is, but yeah, you're right. I think they are. But they've got a pretty solid team. It looks like a big team. So
yeah, they got.
But they're in 2A?
They are 2A,
yeah.
yes.
I would think with Winfield part of theirs as well, they would have to be. So that would make sense. Having Winfield come over.
Well,
and they've done that for a couple of years.
Yeah,
right?
They've always been 2A that I know of.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, but they might be 2A by themselves.
Yes, I think
without
you're right.
Winfield, because not a lot of schools are going to take on a sharing program, especially if it bumps them up a class.
Yep, exactly.
So
you're right.
Not that they wouldn't be gracious enough to take on Winfield. I'm not saying they wouldn't, but they would definitely think twice about it before they took the enrollment to go up another class. So
that's the hardest part when you when you do share. You're not just taking on, if you share and you only get a couple kids, you're not just counting those couple kids, you're counting all of the enrollment. And so it can change your class. But you're right.
Absolutely.
I think they're probably 2A by themselves.
I think I remember them being 2A for quite a long time.
And wrestling is different, basketball and football. Football, there's, 9 different classes, and then wrestling, there's 3. So just a difference in the sport. So
Right. Yeah, they're the only thing we have in common with Columbus is that they're a conference opponent.
Right.
But we would never meet them in any sport in the postseason. They're always in a different class.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. Bachman's match ended 13-5.
Yeah.
By the way.
So this is Silas. Yep. Silas Elder.
Yep. I mean, even Columbus's JV wrestlers are pretty tough here.
Well,
and Silas is fairly new to wrestling.
Yep.
He's inexperienced, but
I think he's enjoying it. Talking to him in class and stuff.
I'm glad.
He's enjoying it. He's liking being in the room and with the guys. And
glad to hear that.
I'm not sure he's enjoying that, but
no, not
same
at all.
thing. Got to get the experience somehow. So.
We got Trake Bird going to the score table to check in.
And Trake is a senior, but I think this is the first year, at least for a long time, that he's actually wrestled, right? He's kind of been part of the team, but not.
Yeah, he was a manager last year. Okay. I'm not sure about the year before, but last year, yes, he was the one and only team manager. Did a great job as the manager, and this year he decided he wasn't real interested in watching wrestling anymore, and he wanted to participate.
ready to take on the challenge. Huh?
Heck yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to go with the team every Thursday night and every
Right.
Saturday and spend the whole day,
Especially Saturday.
you might as well just work out with them.
That's right.
And honestly, it's been good for him too, because since football, he's actually lost a bunch of weight, you know, getting down to 190. So that's been good for him too. You know, not that he was overweight, but, you know, anytime you can take pounds off.
Right. Yep.
I did not expect that to happen, to
No.
be honest with you.
In fact, the Columbus wrestler, though, he kind of came out on fire. He was
did.
ready to go. So, yeah.
Nothing against Drake there. That's
Nope.
lack
And-
of experience.
Right. And I think the Columbus wrestler, I don't know what his name is, but I think he looked like he's had some years on the mat ahead of him. So, yeah.
So Sam Eichelberger is checking in now. This will be our last of our 4 JV matches.
Okay.
Sam's first year wrestling. It's been good to see him in the mat or in the room and out on the mat competing. Sam hasn't gotten very many matches this year. Not a lot of JV opportunities, but he did get some varsity experience early on. He was in the bracket at the New London tournament, and Pew's got high hopes for him in the future.
Yeah. I think he's one, too, when he gets more experience.
Yeah, he won his JV match at the Pekin Duels.
Okay, yep.
So
Sam is such a, like in class, he's a pretty quiet kid. He doesn't say a whole lot. Does what I ask him, but so to see him come out and be aggressive on the mat, it's kind of fun to see that different personality show up on the mat sometimes. So.
Yeah, and some of these kids who might normally be, you know, like you say, a quiet, timid personality. It's interesting to see them come out on the wrestling mat with, you know, for a sport that's typically very aggressive and, you know, things like that. But like I said, right before the end of that match, I've talked to Pew about him a couple different times, and he thinks he's got a lot of potential. So, you know, he's young. Give him some time. Right. Keep him in the room. He'll grow for sure. He's going to get stronger.
Right. Yep.
And he's going to get better at wrestling. So
he's definitely got the leverage. He's a tall kid. He's got to be. Well, I don't know how tall Loudon is, but Sam's right up there.
6'5", I think.
Okay. So I would say Sam's about 6, at least.
He's probably, 6'2", 6'3".
Yep.
And, you know, kids like him, at their height, they could very easily, you know, be playing basketball. So it's great to see kids like Sam on the wrestling mat because, you know, there's a lot of tall kids that wrestle. I'm not saying just because he's tall he has to play basketball, but, you know.
They tend to gravitate that way a little bit more.
They do.
Yeah.
I think that, thanks for saying that, because that's what I was trying to say and just couldn't get it out.
But I think Sam, and he did play basketball last year. At least I remember him in junior high playing basketball. And I don't know, maybe he wrestled too. I'm not sure. But
I don't think he's ever wrestled, no.
So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see that different personality come out, like you said. It's interesting.
It also takes a little bit of guts on their part to get out of their comfort zone. I think that, you know, that's what I was trying to say about the quiet, timid kids, you know, on a wrestling mat, because it would be very easy for them just to say, I'm not interested.
Right.
But to try something new, get out of your comfort zone, I think that's the kind of thing, you know, that we are seeing at Waco in general.
Yeah.
Kids are willing to try things just to try them.
Right.
And,
yeah.
You know.
Just to say they've done it. And
our school district has got some really good kids.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I'm biased, but yes.
And I am too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Caden's fairly new to wrestling this year, right? He hasn't wrestled a whole lot, at least.
He may have, you know, maybe when he was in elementary, maybe a season or something, but he's another one John says is really strong in the practice room. All those years of riding motocross.
Yeah, exactly. And Caden strikes me as the type, too, that would be quick to pick up on things.
I think he is.
The maneuvers and the techniques, he's going to catch that. And like you said, just getting that experience and making it second nature for him will be,
Yep.
Good.
A little story about Caden, BGM duels. right before Christmas. It was our last event before the Christmas break. There was rumor that he wasn't going to wrestle anymore because he wasn't interested in trying to maintain his weight.
Yep.
I think with the help of his teammates and, maybe the leadership on this team, they convinced him to come back. Part of it was letting him know, I think, that he got a 2-pound allowance, so he didn't have to worry about getting down to 132 anymore.
Right. Just had to get a little close.
Yep. Yeah. He had his wisdom teeth over the break, missed last week's events, but he's right back on the mat again. So, throw him some credit for getting back out there.
Yeah. I am so glad that they have started doing that 2-pound allowance, just because I think it's such a hard, especially with Christmas. It just makes sense to me. It's such a hard place to stay, especially through the break. Just makes it a safer event for kids.
Yep,
so.
And that's what it was done for, to be safe. Some of these kids are already cutting enough weight, and some of them are still growing. So,
right.
Give them that allowance, give them a little bit of cushion after Christmas. Now they still have to painfully make scratch weight before the first of the year, January 1st. But once they do that, then they're golden.
Right. Yep. Yep. And I think Pay. I looked at him. Pugh does a nice job too of not really forcing anybody to get into a weight that they're not comfortable at. It's like you do what you feel you can. So is this Deacon again?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he fought out of that one.
Thompson's pretty tough here.
Yep.
This is a little bit more of Deacon not going over and fighting off of his back. It's currently 5-0 Thompson in this match. There's 35 seconds left in the first period. Deacon's done a great job fighting off these turns. I always have this dilemma with myself, Michelle. Basketball games, there's always something going on, right? The ball's moving, different players are touching the ball. There's lots more stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes wrestling matches, there's just nothing to say.
And I find
I find myself trying to fill in content when I really don't need to be doing anything at all, actually.
And with the video, I think that helps. If it's just a radio broadcast, you are trying to fill that a little bit more. But
absolutely.
Yep. So did he pin him there?
Yeah. So it should be 12-0 for the team score.
Like you said, Deacon did a nice job.
Braxton's coming
out. Oh, there we go. Okay. But this isn't a JV match.
No.
This is
our 144-pound match. It's good to see him back on the mat. He got injured. He bonked heads with a wrestler at the New London tournament and did some damage to a couple of his teeth.
Oh.
And he's been out ever since.
That makes my teeth hurt.
Yep.
Braxton, a freshman, but he's grown so much over the summer.
Oh, he's a completely different kid, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I say kid, but yeah. He's completely different. He's physically bigger, and he's gotten a lot taller.
Yes, yes.
I'd be
and I
curious.
Don't think he's done. I don't think he's done growing.
No,
because,
he's not. Yeah. He's not.
Oh, good job. There he goes.
Ellie, I think he's going to end up with two near fall. Columbus is going to end up with two near fall. This is Cale Phillips, by the way.
Okay.
Phillips is going to get two near fall, and then Braxton did get the reversal right before they went out of bounds. So it should be 4-2 Columbus.
Got 2-2, but.
And Phillips with the escape. Should be, in my opinion, it should be 5-2. still in this. He's still in this match.
Oh.
Oh, I bet he hit his knee.
Phillips?
Yeah, Phillips went in on a double leg shot, and I think his head or something hit Braxton's knee.
Gotcha. Yep. I thought maybe his shoulder. At first, when he first went, his arm kind of, but I think it might have been his head. No, I think you're right.
Because he went to his knees and just kind of slumped over there with his head down. I thought
kind of collapsed a little bit. I shouldn't say collapsed. That sounds bad, but he just kind of stopped. I mean, yeah,
for sure. He just stopped, and I think it happened right as he made contact with the legs because he never advanced any farther, and Braxton was just about ready to do a go behind there and get the takedown, but he was kind of slumped over there. I think Marty figured out that something wasn't right.
Right. Yep. And the trainer came right out, so yeah.
It's good to see him sitting up here. This is a bad time of the season for concussions, this close to the postseason, but looks like he's going to continue. Oh, he might have, he was squinting one of his eyes. He might have taken a knee to the eye socket or something.
Which would kind of push it back. Yeah,
it would hurt a little bit.
Good.
Yeah. It's a rough sport. We always talk about that. It's a rough sport.
It is. Ooh.
He's got Phillips with the takedown.
So 7-2 the score?
Yep. 7-2 Phillips.
Yes.
He's got to use this to stand up here.
Trying to wrap that leg up? Is that what he's trying to do?
He's trying to get to that leg a little bit.
So 7-2 as they start the second period. Columbus with the lead there. Phillips.
Stauffer defers his choice to Columbus, and he's going to take the top position. Apparently, the Columbus coaches think they can finish this in the second period. Little head lever. Use that to break him down.
It makes my elbows hurt when I see that.
Some of these matches, I will say, if they're matches that you don't think you can win, oh, there he did. He slipped that arm out again on that chicken wing in the wrist. Same thing he did with that reversal over here on the edge. Matches that you can't win, you just try to minimize the score and give up as few team points as possible. And sometimes that can win you duels.
Oh. It's like Braxton's headgear's come off, but just that readjustment there got him.
Yep. He wrestled pretty tough there for the first time back since December.
Yeah.
Early December.
And I'd have to wonder how conditioned he is. I mean, he's probably not been doing a whole lot. If he's had a concussion, he's probably limiting his room time too. And so just to get back into that condition point. So.
Yep, for sure. I think Columbus's team here is strong enough where we will have a difficult time winning this duel as a team. But, we need to get some victories here.
So Trey at 150. Who's he with? Who's this? Who's Carol's?
I'm not sure who. She just announced it, and I didn't hear.
I was talking over it.
Shaden Adams, maybe.
Okay. Oh. So he's quickly up by 2 here. Oh.
So with that chicken wing, if their hand is over their back with the chicken wing, that's potentially dangerous. The hand
has shoulder.
Hand has to be on the side. I think that's what he saw there, is the hand up on the back with the chicken wing, and immediately that's potentially dangerous.
So there, he's got the wrist, but because he doesn't have that chicken wing, it's not the same.
No, he's not trying. It's not.
It's on that shoulder.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay.
We call this the chug ride.
Okay.
You roll the wrist under and throw it over his back, and then you got several different finishes from here. He was looking for what's called a farmer. There, he's pulled it back up again. He's going to go underneath Trey's right shoulder and grab that wrist from the front, maybe. No,
okay.
He's not going to try that. I thought maybe he was going to try. Yeah, when it happens, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Trey's first move needs to be up.
Especially on that down position like that. Try to get out of the...
Try to get forward and get to your feet. He's good at fighting off this position right here, but it's not really doing him much good. He's not advancing his position at all.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he's not doing what I thought he was going to do, but get your arm, slip your arm out. I wouldn't have expected the first 4 matches to all be falls. Tough team, though.
Yeah, like you said, ranked in the 2A. So yeah.
Yeah, winning this duel would be really, really hard, but I didn't expect 4 falls out of the first 4 matches.
Yeah.
157 pounds for Waco, Fields Weir. And for Columbus Linfield Mount Union, Shaden Adams.
So Kale's a freshman, like we said. But I don't know if he's had any wrestling experience, but he seems to have a little bit of an idea. Okay.
He wrestled in junior high at Washington.
Okay.
For at least 1 year. I'm not sure if it was any more than that, or if he was in their youth program at all. I don't really know much about him.
He's a nice kid.
Yeah,
I had him in class last semester.
Very much so.
Another kid I think that, given some experience and opportunities to wrestle a lot and be in the room and learn from Coach Pugh, I think he'll be a good one to watch coming as the years come by. So
yeah.
Oh boy.
Another potentially dangerous situation. Gotta peel that hand off. Don't let him have that half.
On the left side there?
Yep. If I was standing in a pitch black room with 100 people in it and Coach Milder was yelling, I'd be able to tell you exactly who it was.
Yeah, I think you'd definitely be able to hear him. There would be no doubt of hearing him.
Right, exactly.
The kids probably say the same thing. They know exactly what he sounds like, and they know they better be listening.
100% I know that they know what he sounds like.
Probably hear him in their sleep sometimes.
Oh, I'm sure they do. You know, he's probably different. He's probably much different at practice. I would imagine he's probably much different at practice, I would guess.
And even same thing about Coach Payne. I think I would be able to pick out Coach Payne's voice, too, like in a crowded room.
Yep. Pugh, on the other hand, a little more soft-spoken.
I think it'd be terrifying if he yelled, though. He doesn't do it very often.
So it would be a surprise.
Well, okay, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah. I think that's just his, his coaching style. Yelling is a coaching style, but it's not his coaching style.
Right.
And I think he talks when he knows he needs to talk, and when there isn't any reason to say anything, like now, he's meeting him in the corner.
Right.
He's got something to say.
Right.
But during the match, you really don't hear a lot out of him because you hope that you did your coaching in the practice room, not out here.
Right. And in the situation like this, there's only so much you can fix.
Exactly.
You can't be telling him a whole string of things and try to
You might be
figure it
able
out.
to help him through a situation or something like that, but as far that's really about it.
Right. Yep.
There. Now there's some words of encouragement, a little bit of extra volume there, but sometimes you gotta get your point across.
Right. Especially if you're trying to yell over Coach Payne and Coach Milner on the other side.
Yep, exactly. I will say, at least the last couple times I've seen him, Coach Payne has kind of toned it down just a little bit.
So 4-0, Columbus in the lead here.
Yeah.
But Cale doing a good job. I feel like he's kind of fighting him off.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure who they announced as the Columbus wrestler, to be honest with you.
I didn't hear it either, to be honest, either.
So for now, we'll just call him Columbus.
With the pink shoes, bright pink shoes. Cale trying to get away there. He does. Does he get it? Yeah, he got a point for that. Okay.
He's got a, his defense has got to get better here. Just to put it bluntly. I mean, those shots are too easy.
Be a little bit more. Yep.
Yep.
Cale's another one I think that he's pretty strong. He's got a nice, strong shoulders, upper body.
Yeah, he's barrel-chested.
Yep. So again, when that technique comes and his legs, even watching his legs, he's got his calves.
Oh, yep, that's a little bit better defense, but not quite.
Oh. What do you do now?
Well, he should have taken him all the way over.
Just put him on his.
Yep. There you go, just like that. Now you can work. You got to get your hips up here. He's got to get his hips up. Might be a stalemate here pretty soon. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
So Cale is currently down 6-1. About a minute 26 left in the third period. Part of improving his defense here is just staying lower. Getting your arms low. Right now he's reaching for that collar tie and he's leaving openings to his legs.
He's standing pretty straight up.
Standing pretty tall, just kind of reaching his arms straight out to get into that collar tie, and he's just ducking under it. That's much better sprawl. He needs to try to get around here. Get around, get to the near ankle. Grab the near ankle. Keep going. Keep that whizzer. There. Cale's in a whizzer position right here.
But a good position or bad?
No, that's good defense right there in that position. That's where he wants to be. You want to put a lot of pressure on the opponent's shoulder when you're in the whizzer. You don't want to allow them to get their head up in that position. You want a lot of pressure on that whizzer, and now he's going over. He did a good job fighting out of that. Oh, he got too near fall before he flipped back over.
So 10-1.
Yep, that'll be a major decision. Loss 10-1. That'll be 4 points for Columbus on the team score.
Okay. So up next will be Brock Sterna.
Nope.
And 165.
Oh, yeah, you are correct.
Well, I don't know what the weight is. I mean, 165 is what's on the thing, but.
Yep, I did not see Brock at the score table. That's my apologies.
That's right. And is that Buffington? Is that a.
No, I think it's Cole Storm.
Okay. Yep, Cole Storm. Yep. I heard her say it, that one. Brock's another one I'm excited to watch. I think he's obviously spent a lot of time on the mat.
He has.
And knows the techniques pretty well. He's just got to get some more experience at the high school level, you know.
Yep, and we talked about that a couple different times this season, Mike and I. Brock's a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost a lot of weight to get to, quite a bit of weight to get to this weight class.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. He needs high school experience. Cole is a senior.
Yeah.
But Brock's got a bright future. He's going to grow a little bit. He's gonna
stretch up a little bit.
Yep, stretch up a little bit. He's going to grow into himself a little bit, and I think he's going to be just fine.
So Doppler from Columbus wins the forfeit on that one.
Yep. Here's Kaleberg and Hausengay. This should be the first match that goes our way.
Okay.
He's going to hit a little slide by here. You watch. Slide by. He's got the head and he's draping inside.
Is that it?
Good recovery. No, that was not it.
Okay.
I was talking about Loudon hitting a slide by,
okay.
not Kaleberg. That's Loudon's favorite takedown.
Oh, that's a quick one.
That's a pin. Oh.
He's able to get that hand away.
Yep.
But Loudon with 2 there, so he's got 4.
Yep. Oh, he wanted to, but Kaleberg pulled his arm out. So he's draping inside Kaleberg's right elbow. He'll pull the head towards him, and he'll drag that elbow right past his head.
And then just go behind him.
Yep. Into that.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Right there.
And typically that'll finish right into that Merkel position with his near leg inside and both arms in the armpits. There it is, right there.
Yep.
Except he didn't finish in the Merkel, but that was it right there.
But he got the takedown on that.
Yep.
So he's up 6-1.
6-1, and he's no near fall yet. That is, he's got the leg figure forward.
Trying to drive. Ooh.
Loudon's kind of out of position here a little bit. He's going to lock up the near side cradle and roll him over. Start counting, Marty.
There we go.
And we get the fall.
So Loudon didn't waste any time on that one.
Not at all.
He says, I'm going to come get this.
I believe that Loudon is now 20-0.
Okay.
And
he's just such a technical wrestler.
He is.
He seems like just a,
He's very good, and he's strong.
Yep.
Tall, got a lot of leverage. I also should say that I believe at the Highland tournament on last Saturday that Loudon got his 100th win.
Okay.
So big accomplishment for him.
Yeah, very much so.
I did not hear the announcement. This is Buffington right here.
And this, is it John?
No,
Stauffer?
it's Unterneer. Tommy Unterneer.
Okay. Yep. Thomas is another one. He's got the strength. He's just got to put more time in.
Right. Well, it's good to see him in the room giving wrestling a try. I think it's good for him.
Yeah.
But.
Got him.
I did not expect it to be this lopsided, but like I said several times, Columbus has a really strong team. So it's hard to tell Cooper Buffington when he's in football pads how big he really is, but he's a pretty big dude.
He is.
Russell Coyle, this will be a a tough match for John. Coyle finished third at the state tournament in 2A last year.
Okay.
So he's pretty good.
And he's a senior. Is he a senior?
He is,
Yeah.
I believe. Yes, he is. And there's Columbus has a lot of 9, 10, and 11 grade, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors on this roster. They're going to probably continue to be tough for a few more years if they can keep all these guys in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, no takedown, out of bounds. I think Stauffer has lost his ankle band at least once in every match he's wrestled this year.
I know sometimes they just strap it around the top of their shoulder, like behind their back on the singlet.
And sometimes, it's not something you replace very often, so the Velcro wears out. They've been
used
secured
and
together and pulled apart thousands of times.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
yeah, they're not always the newest things. Yep.
Sorry, I cut
That's
you
okay.
off there. What'd you say?
I said they're not the newest things on the block a lot of times.
No. John tried his little securing that elbow and the roll through, has worked for him in the past, but I don't think Coyle is one that's going to fall for that.
Right. And John's another one that I think, it's good to see him in the wrestling room this year. I don't think he was out there last year, so good to have him as part of the team, and another one he's shed some weight and had some good matches on the mat, but
I agree.
not quite the experience maybe that Coyle has.
Right. Regardless of experience, Coyle's going to be a tough competitor for anybody who walks on the mat.
Right.
Yep.
John's just such a sweet kid, though.
He is. He's awesome.
So personable.
Yep.
But, even you said that, but Coyle's only leading by 2 here, so 2-0.
Yep, 2-0 for Coyle. He deferred, and Stauffer chooses neutral.
Oh.
I'm actually looking forward to John's match. Actually, he will wrestle Scorpel.
Okay.
He and Ty Scorpel have gone. They've wrestled probably a dozen times since junior high, and he's never beaten Ty.
Okay.
I would have to say that Ty is probably one of the top wrestlers in Southeast Iowa to never qualify for the state tournament.
Really?
Yes, he's pretty good.
But he's never been to the state tournament?
Nope.
Huh.
His brother did twice, I believe. 2 or 3 times. His brother Lane.
Okay.
But Ty
Which is maybe who I'm thinking of is Lane.
Possibly,
yeah.
Lane graduated, I believe, 2 years ago. Maybe last year. I think it was 2 years ago.
I think it was 2, yeah.
And went down and wrestled for Iowa Wesleyan for 2 years until they closed down.
Did he go somewhere else?
I don't know if he ended up somewhere else or not.
Okay. The Scorpel name, though, in wrestling is kind of synonymous. I feel like that's a name that I've heard a lot. So, yeah.
I think their dad was pretty successful in his day as well.
Okay. Score is 8-1. Just a little over 30 seconds here in the second period. Oh, that was a weird position to be pinned in.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think John's hurting.
Yep. I don't know what, though. I can't tell. His back. It looks like his back, maybe.
Kind of put him out of position a little bit, but or his hip. Maybe his hip.
is a sophomore.
Okay.
Wrestled at Mediapolis last year. Actually, I believe he went through the Mediapolis youth program and wrestled there as a freshman. And now he's here at Columbus.
I feel like Aney is a name that's been at Mediapolis for years.
Yep, he's got, I believe they're older siblings that wrestled for Mediapolis.
And Hagen, I think I'm so excited to see Hagen on the wrestling mat.
Yeah.
He just needed something, and I think it's been just to get him involved. And
yeah, it's been good for him.
Ooh. Is that score right? 10-3 already?
Yeah, I believe so. He took him down and cut him the first 2 or 3 takedowns, I believe. And then took him down a 4th time for 2 near fall. So I think he's had 4 takedowns and 2 near fall.
Okay. It seemed like it went really fast.
Got 2 more near fall.
Yeah. So
that makes it 12-3, Aney.
And Aney, like you said, that's a name that's, at least from my perspective, I've heard that name at Mediapolis for a lot of years. And so somebody that's come up through the system.
Yeah.
And Hagen, I'm not sure. He's had a lot of experience before this. So.
I don't think he has, actually. But, you know, he's one of those kids. I hope he sticks with it. He seems to have a great attitude. You know, win or lose, he has a great attitude, and it's good to see him out there just battling.
And being with the guys, I think it's good for him to be with those guys, you know, and see those guys in the room and work in the room. So.
Yep. So Columbus will take a forfeit at 1:13. And 1:20 should be Jackson Jones.
Okay. We're against Gage here, right? Jackson Jones, is he how old is he?
He's a sophomore.
Okay. Gage, another one that I feel like is pretty technical in his,
very much so.
His skills.
Very much so. He very rarely gets out of position. In fact, I would say Gage is one of those kids who doesn't give up a lot of points in the season. Between he and Loudon, they obviously give up the fewest points of anyone on the team. So, and I mean match points.
Right.
You know, giving up takedowns, reversals, near falls, all that. Stalemate situation.
Gage leads this one 2-1.
It's interesting that they are on their feet. I guess I didn't see the escape. Nice little double leg shot there. Comes up in between. Now he's got to
figure out what to do.
In that situation, typically you would pull one leg down, push one leg up, do just what he did.
Kind of flip him.
Yep. That's looking for the head lever.
Wrestling is very much a game of, I shouldn't say game, but of control.
Yep.
Who's got the control of it? And
and
it's discipline in it.
It's usually hip control most of the time.
Okay.
You know, if you can control a guy's hips, you can control the rest of his body.
Yep, that makes sense.
If you can make a guy's hips turn, his shoulders will follow.
Doesn't really have a choice sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thought Gage was going to have it there for a minute.
It's a positional.
Yep.
And
I feel like sometimes on the flip side, you think you could be in great position and something happens and all of a sudden you're caught off guard and it's like you're caught on your back. And so, yeah.
That's right.
Gage leads this one 6-2.
I think his shoulder brace came apart.
Okay.
And I believe that would be injury time. Well, maybe not.
They're not holding it, though, so. He just looked like he just strapped it back up. So.
Yep. And I didn't know if equipment failure, I'm not sure about that, if that's considered injury time or not. Right. So we end the first period, Samo up 6-2 against Jackson Jones. I always like to say anybody that takes the bottom position against Samo actually made the wrong decision.
Should have rethought that
one. He
one.
is so tough on top.
Doesn't give you an inch to get out.
No. He's a lot of pressure. Not right there, he's not, but a lot of pressure. You know, he was baiting him right there. He wanted him to get up to his base so he could put the leg in.
Yeah, with that knee inside.
Yep.
3 back points.
9-2, Samo.
It seems like in some of these matches, not so much tonight, but especially with really good technical wrestlers like Gage, they try to get those points. So they'll give you the escape so that they can do another takedown, maybe to get the points or maybe just to practice something. I feel like sometimes it feels like that. Oh, blood time. I don't handle blood very well, so it's a good thing I'm not on that side.
Well, he's got his head over the trash can, so it must be dripping.
And how you come back and wrestle with one of those things jammed in your nose, I will never understand.
It does keep you from breathing quite as well as you would without a plug in your nose, but
better than the blood dripping everywhere. So
right,
yeah.
The last time we wrestled Columbus was 2 years ago at Pekin.
Okay.
And the duel was close. That was the year we had Drew Deers and Jonah Clark, and we basically had a full team, and we competed with Columbus. And the duel came down to 120. No, 113 or 120. 120. And John needed to just give up less than 6 points against Scorpel, not get pinned.
Yep.
And he did it, and we ended up winning the duel. It would have been fun to see him win the match, but you know, if again, it's one of those situations. If you're not going to win, at least help the team, right? Win the duel.
And that's the team aspect of wrestling.
Exactly.
You know, individually they're wrestling, but there's that strategy there.
That was a really fun year, too, because we had a team that could compete. We broke the school record for dual wins that year.
Yeah.
I mean, the team, they were behind each other. They were excited when they're close, jumping up and down, all kinds of stuff. It was fun.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. That was probably one of the funnest seasons I've got to see John wrestle in.
Oh.
Right to his back.
Yep.
I got to say, that's the first time I've ever seen that.
That looked a little, I'm surprised they didn't stop it, just because he was kind of on his neck a little bit, but he had him in a good spot there.
Yeah, he did.
He's definitely out of control.
But just in case you don't know, the official has to award the takedown before they can start counting near fall. So
even though he had him right down
he
his
had
back.
probably 2 near fall there if he was able to count, but he hadn't given him the takedown yet.
Right.
So you got to be in control before you can get any near fall.
Gotcha. 13-3, the score. Started the third period.
Yeah, we're
here.
working on a tech fall here.
Now 15-3. Gage definitely looks like has control of that right leg. Well, they let it go, but
yeah, Gage is definitely a leg rider for sure. He's got it back in there now.
there you go. He's trying to work that head down. Is that what he's trying to do?
He's trying to use. He had that leg in there. He's got the leg in. Now he's trying to use. He's trying to use to get his shoulders to turn. So he had a power half there. Now he's gonna. Yep, that's called a Turk.
Okay.
He's gonna try to get around the neck here and use that leg to elevate and turn his hips. If his hips turn, his shoulders will turn. So there's the leg again. That's a power half. Oh, that's a bad little spot without his leg was out there for a second. I wasn't sure if he was going to get caught or not.
Nope, they got him. I feel tired after that.
Yeah.
That was a grueling match.
And those ones that go, almost 6 minutes and you get the fall at the end of the third, you almost want to say, well, why didn't you just do that 4 minutes ago?
Save us all the time, right?
Yeah.
So here's your matchup. Ty Scorpel and John.
Scorpel's very aggressive.
He's got that wrist underneath.
Yeah, I'd really like to yell at him right now, but I can't.
Turn the mic down real low.
Yep. Got to get his wrist back there.
Oh, that was quick.
Dang it.
Just got him just enough on those shoulder blades.
Yeah, he should have been bridging in that situation. Well, that is the conclusion of our evening. This was the last duel. Thank you again to all of our sponsors that make this possible. Do you want to go through the list real quick, Michelle?
I can, if I can bring it up
We'll
here.
announce the sponsors here real quick, and then we'll sign off and let you go.
It's reloading here. Should have done this before. I apologize. But without our sponsors, like we said, we couldn't make this possible, and maybe not. I seem to have lost it. So,
yeah, we really appreciate what they do to make this possible, to give you the Warrior Cast. I guess, Michelle, we'll get them next time.
Here we go. Okay.
Got it?
I think so.
All right, here we go.
So we'll go Wayland Veterinary Clinic, Reschley Construction, Reichenbach Painting, Ashley's Grooming and Boarding, Eichelberger Farms, Cornerstone Excavating, Graber Electric, the Waco Youth Athletic Association, Agraway, 321 Trucking, Precision Collision Center, EPO Energy, Lepic Krager Realty, McCoy Plumbing and Heating, Jet Physical Therapy, 4M Plumbing and Heating, Laris Shellman and Sons Trucking, LJ Roth Reconstruction, and Restoration, Petra Excavating, Hughes Construction, Leakey and Son Construction, Main Street Cairo, West Liberty Foods, Harbison Fencing, and Experience Wealth by Brad and Bryce Shellman. So thank you again to them, and if you'd like to be a sponsor, just let me know. Hit me up. I can help you.
Sounds good.
So
thank you, Michelle, for joining me tonight and not leaving me alone all by myself. It was great working with you tonight. It's
always fun for me to learn, too,
yeah,
so I appreciate
absolutely.
that. But
we'll have to get you.
We'll see what happens on Saturday now, right?
Yeah, hopefully we can have it, but I don't. I'm not going to hold my breath with the way the weather's coming.
Right.
So
it's a little sketchy.
It is.
So
maybe we can get you back on the mic again before the season's over.
So.
We'll see what happens.
I hope so. Not to take Mike's spot, but yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you next Thursday for our home duel at Waco.
Yep.